That's hot. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Wippa.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
We Tommy Grennan chat. You can go listen separately as well. Also, there's an amazing story about Steve Irwin and how he didn't get Australian of the Year. That's in the podcast as well. But another big one as well. This has gone everywhere. The guy that had to. Well, he'd lost his penis, but they actually put it onto his arm to keep it going.
Have you got Detachable Penis in the system?
Yes.
Do you remember that song?
That was a great song.
I woke up this morning and my penis was gone.
I woke up this morning with a bad hangover and my penis was missing.
Great
again.
song. I mean, this bloke spent 6 years with
How
a
long did it
penis.
take for you to write?
This guy just spent 6 years with a penis growing on his forearm.
Yeah, and we're also going to do remarrying an ex in the podcast as well who has a penis on their arm.
No, they don't have to
Oh, don't they?
have a penis on their arm. This guy ran into a bit of trouble when he tried to get something off the top shelf once at a supermarket to help an old lady out. And whack! She ended up in all sorts of trouble.
Here's the podcast.
Fitzy and Wippa.
Let's talk about old mate Bill Gates. You know, he's having a swing. He's come out with a new warning about COVID too, saying we haven't seen the worst of it.
No, you just feel... that's a good start to the day, that sound, isn't it? It's just a...
Do they still have that? No, I think
wonder
that's gone, isn't it?
How long it took to come up with that sound.
Yeah. How many people are involved in making that one sound? Have you got the dial-up internet? Is that in the system, Leno?
No, that actually... That
Gives you anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you were always like, oh, it's not going to connect.
Okay, that sounds normal. Yeah, that should be... Okay, are we in? Oh my God, here's a...
Yeah.
Okay, got through to Napster, guys. I'm on Napster.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, only going to download half a song, though,
Well, yeah,
legally.
come
and
on,
then
I'm
it'll...
on LimeWire, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I remember Coldplay Yellow was our first song we downloaded from Napster, and it took an hour and a half. And when we got it, we were like, "Oh my God, we didn't even pay for this."
This is amazing. I can't believe it. Do you know what? I then ran a lead from our computer through a wall into the speakers in the living room, just because that was the only way you could get computer music or data type music in through your stereo. And I thought, mate, I am the future. Right here, under the house with a big drill bit.
Yeah.
Dad, I've done something really clever. Didn't actually work. I made the cables myself, so that fell apart.
The Commodore 64, remember load star, comma 8, comma 1, and it would take an hour and a half to load one game. I remember you used to have to load it on a cassette. It was a cassette. The games used to come in cassettes. You'd load it and come back an hour and a half later, and it would go error. And you go,
I think it's ready to go. Good old Bill Gates. Let's talk about marriage, because we know that he's separated from Melinda, and that's well-publicised divorce here. They were married for 27 years, and she started working at Microsoft, and that's where the romance started. What's interesting is it's been a couple of years since they've broken up. And he says that every family or every marriage goes through a transition after children have grown up and they've left the home. And for him, the transition was called divorce. So he said it's such a pivotal point when the kids walk out that you turn to your partner and you go, right, where do we go from here? And you hope that you realise your freedoms and you can run off and do all the things you've been wanting to do before the old bloody tin lid's pegged you down. You know what I mean?
See, it wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be that easy, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be as cut the cord, now I can go and party. It's not like that, is it?
No. He then went on to say he had the greatest marriage. He was then asked,
Oh, Bill.
would you marry again? He said, yes, but I'm talking about Melinda. I would marry her all over again.
Yeah, but that's because didn't she turn a blind eye to all his behaviours?
I don't think he's suggesting that he just would marry somebody that's okay with all the wrongs that he does, says.
Aren't you?
He's looking back on the marriage and going, hey, we were a really good team. I'd love to know if there's anybody that's divorced, right? Or the marriage is broken up, you've gone your own ways, but if you had your time, still, even though they may have taken off with somebody else, you'd still marry them again.
Isn't there an element of, you know what, okay, let's divorce, this is not working out, but then you go off for a few years and you try other relationships. Is there an element of you know what, I can't find anyone as good as you. Can I come back?
Hello.
Is there an element of desperation when you go
From Bill?
back and try to
No, I don't think
get
so.
the marriage going again?
No, isn't that a recognition that things were really good, and then you have time apart, you do
Yeah.
the things you want to do, and then the love is still there.
I mean, it's the ultimate test, isn't
Yeah.
it? To see if the love is still there. And if you find yourself 2 years down the track going, there's one thing missing in my life. Oh, my God, it was Melinda. It's not Microsoft. Don't worry about Windows 95. I want her back. I would marry her again.
There's a huge comfort as well.
Oh, yeah.
And you see them, and you, like, even when I saw my ex for the first time, I didn't want to get back. There wasn't the romance, but there was a familiarity. It felt really nice.
Yeah.
And it was safe, and it was like, wow, this is lovely to see you.
Do you know what?
Stay out of it, DeGroot.
Oh, do you know what? I'm not...
Bite your tongue.
I can tell you this, Sarah. I'm not getting you another wedding gift, that's for sure. If someone, right, if you went to one wedding, right, and then 10 years later, they got divorced, 10 years later they decided to fall in love again and they got married again, there's no way you're getting a second wedding gift, are you?
I mean, that's an extension.
Well, you buy someone a birthday gift every year. Why wouldn't you get them another wedding gift?
Nah.
You've already
Baby
had one
showers?
go at it.
You've had your one.
No chance.
Do you know, Lisa and I often, you know, when you go out as a couple and you sit down, you look around the restaurant and you go, oh, do you reckon that's a first date or a last date? Or is that a Tinder date? Like, what are they doing over there? I mean, he's put a lot of effort into his outfit, so I think he's trying to impress her. That must be a first date. And then we sit back and we go, oh, my God, if I was single, I'd be hopeless. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be bothered going through with it
Sounds
all
like
again.
A cool game.
Huh?
Ever felt like a holiday after your holiday?
Plan your getaway now and make up for missed holidays with whatif.com.
Plus, select hotels are fully refundable so you can book with confidence.
Booking cancellation windows apply. What if? It's Aussie for travel. Bill wants back in. Bill Gates wants to remarry Melinda. He's keen. I've made a mistake, guys. It's been 2 years. Let me back in.
Yeah, I know.
Love to know if you got back with your ex after quite a while. Belle in Ashfield, what's your story?
So I was together with my husband for 20 years, and a year ago I left him for a girl, and we're back together. So it's been a month. Been a bit hard, but on the right track, and doing well.
Bill, did you get a divorce or no? You stayed married?
We separated, but I did get engaged to the girl I ended up with 2 months into that relationship.
Right.
So it was a bit of a tough one to break that one, but
Belle, how did you meet the girl?
Tinder.
And so what? Then you just wanted to go back to your husband? Did you miss him?
Yeah. So I guess like you have so many memories and so much going on over 20 years. Like we have 2 kids and
Yeah,
and
that's
our own
family.
property and all this stuff. So
Belle, tell me about the moment you realised. So you've moved on, you're in a new relationship, you're engaged to that person. What was the moment where you went, nah, this is not for me and I miss what I had?
yeah, I think during the new relationship, I still kept in contact quite a lot. So I'd still, because it was during lockdown as well. So I would go over there daily and catch up with the kids, and that was my excuse. But I was really there to see him.
Interesting.
And, so I think it never kind of broke enough. And it got to a point where both the girl and I were sitting at dinner one night and we both looked at each other and she's just like, you're still in love with him. And I was like, yeah, I am.
It's a movie.
But yeah, it was a bit of a tough one because that was her birthday. But
Right, it was her birthday.
Oh,
She couldn't have lied till
What a
the day
waste.
after.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom where he grabs his heart, pulls it out and just throws it on the ground.
See you later.
Will in Wollongong, did your parents get back together after splitting, Will?
Yeah, they did, mate. They were married for 30 years, had 5 children. The youngest child moved out and they separated, different partners, houses, divorces, everything.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, met each other at a party, started dating, and within a year, were remarried again.
Oh, man. Will, that's a great story.
Was the family happy about it, Will? You were happy they got back together?
I'm the youngest of the 5 of us, and the sisters weren't too happy because they had to go through all the divorce and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But when the parents got remarried, they were like a brand new couple. It was disgusting. So they,
Okay.
so we, going away romantic. So, but the family weren't too happy,
Well-
too keen, but they got back together, so it was good.
What I don't understand is, I mean, I would suggest, what do they pushing 70, are they, mate? How old are they?
They're in their 80s now.
They're in their
so
80s.
They've been married happy ever since.
So what, I mean, at that later stage in life, though, when you hear those stories where someone might be 70 plus and they then decide to break up,
I agree.
I'm always stumped by that.
It's too late. I agree with you. Like, you know what are you going to get?
What's going to happen now?
Is the grass greener?
If being around someone like is making you unhappy to have them there, then you'd rather be on your own.
You should have known a bit earlier and you would have had more time to run in the field.
Is there a lesson with Will's call in a marriage? Mm-hmm. I mean, part of the contract that you sign is there a couple of years off, maybe somewhere?
Around the age of 42.
Oh, every 5 years you get one off.
Oh.
Nikki and Dural, tell us about your auntie, Nikki.
Hey, guys. So my auntie and uncle, they were married for about 35 years. Mm-hmm. They had 4 kids. The eldest is now about 50.
Yep.
So about 14 years ago, they separated, divorced. He had a couple of girlfriends sort of like here and there. But in the past 12 months, they've actually just got back together again.
Great story, Nick.
Yeah, and they're sort of living back together again. And, yeah, my cousin also said it's a bit sickening just watching them hold hands and everything.
I love that. Why did they separate to start with, Nick, after going through so much in 35 years of marriage?
Oh, look, I'm not really sure. I didn't get into it with them. It's just not my business.
Didn't he?
Yeah, sounds like your uncle's a bit of a pants man.
Oh, no, it's not at all. She's not going into it.
A bit of a lad down at the local.
You become too comfortable in a relationship. And you know what? You probably get to a point where you're arguing all the time. You need a break from each other. And absence makes the heart grow fonder. You need that time off to then go, you know what? I really do love that person. I reckon this should be mandatory.
Dino's in St Helens Park. What's your story, Dino?
Yeah, go on, buddy. Mate, me and my wife are married for 36 years now. We separated for 5 years. Got together again. We still together since then, mate. So it's been great.
So, Dean, you'd recommend the break?
I do sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you need it sometimes.
Yes. So,
but we're closer than we were the first time. So yeah.
Yeah. So, Dean, did you have other partners in the break?
No, I didn't.
Did she?
No, she didn't either because we lived on the same roof still. We had 4 kids under the age of 5.
Oh, good effort, Dean.
Yeah. We shared a house together.
You just needed a break from each other to realise how much you love each other, Dean.
Yeah, we got back together again later on, and then I asked her to remarry me back 10 years ago, and she said yes.
Oh, that's a beautiful story, Dean.
Don't know how she would have ever left you, Dean.
Paul in Bankstown, did your mate get back with his ex-wife, Paul?
G'day, how you going?
Yeah, g'day, Paulie. What happened, mate?
Yeah, so one of my mates was married for 20 years to his wife, and he bloody ended up taking off with his wife's sister.
That's going to get in the way. Go down well in the family. So, okay, so then they split, Paul. Was there a bit of a break?
Yeah, so he was in a relationship with the sister for approximately 2 years, and then they ended up getting remarried and living a whole happy life now with their two children.
What about the sister, though?
Is the sister involved, Paul?
The sister goes over for some Sunday dinner and Christmas dinner, mate. It's a bit of a funny situation.
Wouldn't surprise me if you put in a phone call to the sister, Paul. You old dog.
Come on, guys.
Come on, mate.
Paulie.
We know about you, Paul, doing Bankstown proud.
When you talk forgiveness, that's a pretty good effort.
Isn't it?
Yeah, how do you sit across the table with one sister and you're jumping all over the place, aren't you?
I mean, you would know, Sarah, with a couple of brothers, wouldn't you?
Okay, and normally Wippa goes down that road. Fitzy, that's beneath you. But
been asked not to bring that up.
Do you know? Have you spoken to that family? Are they still torn apart by that story when you hooked up with both the brothers?
Mum is very good friends with their mum. It's all fine.
Yeah, but the great news is there's a third brother who's feeling very left out at this stage.
Well,
and just to point out, it wasn't at the same time, Sarah.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't at the same time.
It was the Winklevoss brothers as well. They own Facebook. They're loaded.
Wow. Modern day medicine, guys. Let's get into it. This is genius. This headline caught my attention yesterday. Actually turned up on a couple of WhatsApp chats as well. I've had a penis on my arm for 6 years, and now I finally feel like a real man. It's okay, it's his penis.
You know, I saw that story online, and I thought, I reckon Wippa will start this story with, I'm just going to read the headline.
I'm just going to go with the headline here. I've had a penis on my arm for 6 years, and now I finally feel like a real man. He got a blood infection, this poor man. What's his name? Malcolm McDonald. Malcolm got a blood infection. His penis fell off in the bathroom one day, which is a horrible day, I would have thought, for Malcolm. This was in 2010. And the doctors then built, how's this, a new 6-inch member. And it was meant to be attached in 2015, but due to a lack of oxygen in the blood, it was then grafted temporarily to his arm.
Wouldn't you do it on your leg?
Yeah.
And then you could tuck it into your jeans.
Or like your hip or something so that it's hidden.
Well, you're not going to... Why would you put it on your arm so everyone can see it?
Well, that's the tricky thing. It was on his forearm. Maybe they needed the blood flow of the veins that are in your forearm for it to grow.
So why is yours on your forehead?
Really
I was
good
hoping
question.
someone else would jump in faster.
No, I was
What's
waiting.
his scar-like? Because yours has come up a treat.
I was waiting for a nose joke, Sarah, to be honest. And then, because of COVID, they weren't able to perform the operation, and it had to stay on his arm and has been there for 6 years or so. He said it hasn't been easy. An elderly lady once asked him to get an item off the top shelf of the supermarket, and the willy came loose as his shirt came up and swung down and hit her in the head.
Oh, that's a tough one.
She would have thought it was fake and that he
Was
was
she
a
asking
sicko.
for tea bags?
How do you apologise when a woman says, "I think I've just been hit by a penis
Well, it's...
in the head from your arm"? Huh?
That is just... It's hard to introduce yourself like that to other people. Do you tell them straight up? I'm going to be honest with you. If we're going to go down the beach today, I've got to give you the heads up.
Just on the forearm.
Oh, I've got a willy on my arm.
Yep. Can you actually do me a favour? Could you just put some sunscreen on my willy? Just on my arm, do my back. That'd be great.
It's a great party trick.
Isn't it? Just shaking hands. I'm really excited to see you. Whoop. Hang on a minute.
But it wouldn't do that.
What do you mean?
It wouldn't.
No.
It wouldn't. No. It's always going to be flaccid, wouldn't it?
It did when they then put it back on. In the documentary, which has a really clever name, The Man with a Penis on His Arm. Guys,
I had an idea for that.
Quick brainstorm for the name of the doco. Anyone? The Man with a Penis on His Arm. So he was a keen darts player too. So this was a little bit of an issue, Fitz, when he was shooting for 180. Quite often with the throw of the dart, it would launch almost following his hand.
Bullseye's got a whole new meaning.
Yeah, it does. And the great news was, could we? He learned how to tuck the arrows under it, Fitz, almost like a holster, and hold on to the arrows. So he was able to throw and hold his arrows with one hand at the same time. Goes on to say was made out of flesh from Malcolm's arm, which allows it to feel. So it did have some sensitivity. He eventually then had a pump installed. How's this? In his scrotum, which would fill with a saline solution, allowing him to actually become excited.
It's just for technology.
Could we?
Fascinating.
Could we?
Yeah, we could. It is so fascinating to know. So now that they've grafted that back on between his legs.
He said, I looked down for the first time. I thought, fine, I look like a man again. They took a vein from his leg, then wrapped skin around it, attached it to the arm, and then when it was actually attached, the urethra was put through it as well. So, he can drain like a normal penis would doing a wee, right? And then he's had the
I don't think you need to go into so much detail.
We can't have got to this part of the story and you've got an issue with me saying penis.
You know how you drop a couple? You've just gone...
I'm reading the article.
For the record.
He's leaning into it.
I'm reading the article. And then it had its pump installed. And it has a little reservoir on the side, right?
Have you never heard of people with erectile dysfunction? That's what they did. What happened?
I've never heard of a pump inserted into the body. And then you can pump it like a button on his side.
Like Air Maxes.
Have you got Black Eyed Peas?
Could we? Yeah, they're like Air Maxes says. Yeah. And you're ready to go.
No, Reebok pumps.
Reebok pumps.
Reebok pump. You just pump a little bit and he's ready to go, guys. Well done, mate. Good to have you back in the right place.
It's amazing. It's amazing what they can do these days.
Someone else will have to hold his darts for him now, but anyway.
Do you remember Cribs from MTV? How good was that show?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just when you're in your little townhouse with your mum and dad, and you've hardly got any room, and you're sharing a room with your sister, and you're watching MTV Cribs. How much does it make you feel good about your life knowing that 50 Cent is living in a huge mansion, has got 14 different cars?
I remember one of the highlights was Robbie Williams, because he had the castle, and he also had like a butler that he...
Yeah.
He had a butler that he called Scroat.
That's right.
He would clap whenever he wanted something. So putting on a show, and he would just clap and go, Scroat! And then Scroat came over with just a silver tray with a lighter and a cigarette on it.
Well, let's focus on Robbie Williams, because he's in this article.
Yeah.
This is celebrities who totally lied about their homes on MTV's Cribs. Robbie Williams showed off a rather impressive mansion in his episode of MTV Cribs. It just happened to be another celebrity's. It wasn't even his.
What, the castle?
He was renting the home from Jane Seymour of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Amazing.
Wow. Okay.
But was telling everyone it was his.
Now I don't know who Scroat worked for.
I was going to say, I wonder if he was real.
Oh my God, I don't know what to believe now. The other one was a highlight was Shaquille O'Neal. Does he get a mention?
No, because he had a custom bed, didn't he?
Yeah, Shaq's bed, which is like 3 metres by 3 metres.
No, what a pest to change
Massive,
those sheets.
with the big Superman sheets on it.
That was true. That was true. So Shaquille was okay. It was okay. 50 Cent that we spoke about before. Can we do 50 Cent? So 50 Cent went in there. He made all his money off his album Get Rich or Die Trying. This was his big song, In the Club. He needed to show off his lavish collection of sports cars in his episode of MTV Cribs. However, it's not clear whether the cars were actually his.
Hey guys, I've got Cribs coming round. Can I borrow some cars?
Because the thing is, we've found out afterwards that 50 Cent and also Little Bow Wow. Remember Little Bow Wow?
Little Bow Wow, yeah.
Little Bow Wow. Wrap up of the week.
Yeah.
We found out afterwards that for the show, they rented all these supercars.
Of course they did.
And they put them in there and made out that they were the rappers.
Knew I couldn't trust Little Bow Wow.
You can't even.
Always knew that.
I mean, Destiny's Child, this is a good one as well. In the early noughties, Destiny's Child was enjoying massive mainstream success. Beyonce obviously was in there as well. The girls, it wasn't even their house. That was a rental home as well. They decided to show off Kelly Rowland's room full of shoes. They weren't even her shoes. They liked a certain brand of shoes, borrowed the shoes, put them in there, and got this huge shoe deal afterwards. And got the sponsorship. Got free shoes for the rest of their life.
Do you know what I've heard about Australian celebrities? And what they'll do is they'll say, hey, Better Homes and Gardens or something are coming through my house. And they'll ring suppliers and go, yeah, my kitchen's going to feature on the show.
Yeah, can you give me some...
Hey, Mile, why don't you deck out the kitchen?
It's not bad.
And then you'll get a bit of a plug on the show.
And they go, no, we don't do that.
It's not bad.
Who'd you hear this from?
Can't
Just
say
asking
anything.
for a friend?
Just asking for a friend.
Ja Rule. Let's go to Ja Rule, the infamous man who owned the Fire Festival. Ja Rule got sued after going onto MTV Cribs and saying, this is my mansion, and the owner who owned it sued him because he said, that's not your house, that's my house.
Hang on, man. You rented that for a week. Amazing timing that Cribs were coming around then.
This is the best one, though. JoJo. Remember JoJo?
Who's JoJo?
Yeah. Right now, it's the end of you.
I mean, she can't have had a truckload of money from just that song.
Well, I think she had some others.
They went through her luxury condo in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, though, JoJo didn't even own a house. She was living from hotel to hotel with her mum at the time.
See, what are they going to do on Honest Cribs? Where they turn up and it's just a guy living in a caravan.
Don't they do this for The Bachelor, though? Shows like The Bachelor, they put them in fake houses. Not the contestants, I know that's not their house, but when they visit home visits, it's not their homes.
Oh, my gosh. She actually was really angry about it because she said, well, I can't show people that I'm living in this luxury condo. And they said, oh, look, it's just MTV Cribs. You know what? Pump yourself up.
Yeah.
You know what? You'll have another hit song. Unfortunately, JoJo didn't. Yeah, being a postie. I mean, I was a paper boy growing up. I did it for 2 weeks. I was delivering the Southern Messenger. We used to call it. It was the Messenger, but where
Messenger.
I grew up, it was the Messenger.
No one could talk.
And you had to fold them yourself, Sarah, put them into the plastic bag.
Yep.
And
Did you have to do that too?
Oh, mate, it took so long. And then Dad said, well, I'm not driving you, So jump onto your Hot Foot BMX, which had Haro stickers on it. That
awesome,
Mum
man.
bought me for $10, but it was a Hot Foot, and I started doing it. Sarah, this is interesting. I started going around thinking, this is awesome. I'm getting exercise. I'm out in the fresh air, but I didn't have a big enough bag, so I would have to deliver them, then ride all the way back home, fill up my bag again, and go do the rest.
That would have taken days.
It took me ages, and then there was this one moment where I was trying to work out, because back then you had the Gregory, so I'm working out what streets I have to go
Street
to.
directory.
And I'm in a driveway on my Hot Foot BMX, and a guy reversed his car into me.
While you were looking at the street directory?
It just knocked me over, didn't injure me, but I was like, oh, stuff this, I don't want to do it anymore.
Here's your meth, mate.
Here's your Southern Messenger. The gig guide's in there.
Have a good one.
Where's the Popes playing at Brighton Lifesaving Club this Saturday night? I want to hear from posties, and also if you've been a paper boy or a paper girl before, because they're saying it's one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. More than 1,000 posties are involved in dog attacks every year, Sarah.
Jeez.
Well,
Don't have a go at the posties. This is a tough job.
I mean, the new postie buggy, looks really good. Looks really comfy. It's got sun protection. It's got a little roof. It's quite advanced sort of scooter compared to what it used to be as the postie. The red postie bike is gone, right? You go and buy one of those for $600 at the auctions, because these things are almost like the Pope-mobile. Yeah. That's what they need, mate. It needs to be the Pope-mobile, which is bulletproof.
Yeah, but see, this is the other thing as well with injuries, mate. Do you know how much weight you're carrying on your back, your shoulders, your back?
No,
You've
they
got
have
those
a
huge helmets on.
Yeah.
no, they have in our area, Fitz, they have a cart. Haven't you seen them? They just walk around with a cart.
Oh, they push the
dragging
cart.
a
Yeah, the trolley.
Yeah,
we got a
that's
trolley
what they
lady.
do.
You need a postie. But
Yeah,
what do you be a bike?
No, they don't. Well, what would be the point? All the houses are so close together, you'd get on the bike and fall.
Stop, lunge, roll, stop.
Yeah, it would be.
I want to hear postie disaster stories. 13 24 10. Taylor in Quakers Hill, what happened to you when you did the local paper run?
I used to be a little paper girl, and then I, where it says, no junk mail? I was 12, didn't read it, put the little brochures in, and then this little old man comes running out saying, take it out. So I took it out, ran away, wasn't physically injured, but mentally scarred.
Yeah,
I bet. And then he set the dogs onto you.
People are really precious about their letterbox, aren't they?
But how pathetic. Just put it in the bin.
You've got so much mail coming from so many different places these days too, although you never check your mailbox anymore. But you've got your mail arriving from your postie, then there's the delivery guy that might be sending something that's larger than your letterbox, and you think, how many people are coming at the house? I'd like to know, is anybody hooked up with a postie? Oh, that's a familiar face I see every day. Hello.
What do you change? You do not change my phone topic, mate.
I thought you were done. Sorry, mate. I thought you were done.
Look, we've got a full board. Everyone's gone crazy.
Sorry, mate.
Olivia from Rydalmere, when did you hook up with the postie? No. What happened to your dad when he was a postie, Olivia?
No, he was a postie, and he was crossing the road at the zebra crossing and got hit by a car by this man, and then he became a barber a few years later, and the man came in to get a haircut and never mentioned it at all, but he knew who Dad was.
Oh, that's terrible.
And did your dad ruin his head?
No, he didn't, unfortunately.
I'm going to do to your head what you did to mine.
Ian was a postie over in the UK. Hi, Ian.
Hey, morning, guys.
Oh, what's the worst thing that you encountered?
Oh, a few things have happened when I was a postie, but probably the worst one, I was out collecting the mail from the big red boxes and opened the door, and somebody had glued fish hooks inside the slot. So if anybody put their hand right in, would have got hooked up.
Oh my God.
Wow. How could someone go to the effort to do that? So no one got...
It was a bit of a rough estate I was working on. I got chased on there by a guy because I didn't have his dole check, and he wanted to check my bag. I've been attacked by dogs, crashed the van, you name it.
Oh, how long did you do it for, Ian?
Oh, it was about 4.5 years.
You would have known the area though well, Ian, you know?
Yeah, everybody. The trouble is everybody knows you, so when you go out, they say, you're the postman.
Oh,
yeah,
Ian,
that's the thing.
Did you make any friends on the job, Ian?
Tried not to.
No?
Right.
Did any flirting going on, Ian, by the opposite sex?
Yeah, a few do. It's amazing how many people come to the door naked when they got a sign for a party.
Yeah. Hey, Ian, did you hook up with anyone on the job?
No.
No, well done, Ian.
You thought about it though, didn't you, Ian? You've got something else to deliver.
Perfect.
I can't answer that.
He's professional. Well done, son.
Oh, Ian.
Ben in East Currajong, did you ever run in with a dog on your paper route, Ben?
Yeah, there was used to do paper rounds as a kid, and there was a couple of roddies that used to be able to sort of put the pamphlets in their mouths and they take it back to the owner.
Yeah.
And then one day they just sort of, came out the gate and sort of bit me on the leg and started chasing me down the street.
Oh, man.
Benny, they're scary dogs as well, Benny. How did you get rid of them?
Just pretty much rode as fast as I could on my little BMX and out sort of run them.
Didn't they?
What do you do now, Ben, for a job?
Work at Toyota.
Okay. Any dogs biting you there, mate?
No, just customers.
This is a great idea, and I think everyone should have this option, right? And I know wedding days can be pretty full on, and obviously anxiety plays a big role in it as well. A lot of people like to drink. Actually, do you remember that guy down in Adelaide? Do you remember that groom down in Adelaide that got a little bit too drunk? And he was told that he couldn't get married on the day.
Because of how drunk he was?
Remember how drunk he was? Oh. He didn't marry, and his wife, his future wife, walked away from him.
No.
Said, this is not going to happen anymore. This was his response.
I had my bucks night the night before, bro. I mean, come on. We're all men here. I had 3 beers, 2 Jamos, 2 shots of Jamo. That's not drunk.
That's not drunk.
The Jamo shouldn't have done it.
He got really emotional because his fiancée said, well, that's it. The wedding's over.
I'm like, I'm meant to be getting married, man. And all I could think about was my woman. All I needed was my woman to feel like she was the queen of the day, man.
Yeah, so unfortunately that didn't work out. Having a few drinks just to calm the nerves before the wedding is not a good idea. Now, this happened over in India, and the groom got too drunk and was late to the wedding. That Sarah, the father of the bride, stepped in and said, we don't like him anyway. Grabbed another relative and said to his daughter, you're marrying him.
One in, one out.
I don't mind this.
Except
that
on the day, relative.
Do you get an option if they don't rock up on time on the day? Do you get to choose someone else in the audience?
Could you imagine, right? BJ's standing there. All of a sudden, your Kingswood blows a tyre and you're late to the wedding.
Yep.
BJ looks around, your family make a decision. Cousin Shane steps up.
It was an SLR 5000 Tirana as well that we arrived in.
Sorry, the Tirana blows a wheel.
Yep.
And then Cousin Shane gets up.
Yep.
And marries BJ. He might be the caller.
Yeah, that might be tough.
Because of his teeth.
Well, they're not going anywhere on the honeymoon. Shane owns a bit of money.
Yeah, but he's got his homemade bourbon, which would have made for a great wedding.
I mean, if you didn't have a good excuse, if you got drunk, you didn't rock up to the wedding, I think this is fair play. I think the bride should then get an option to scour the room. I don't know, it could be the best man. It could be someone else that they've had their eye on for a while and say, who wants to jump up? You're on. Let's get married. Let's do this.
What about the wedding you went to where someone streaked?
Oh,
didn't someone run through the bridal party in the nude?
No, that was... We did a thing on radio. This was 17 years ago. It was called Fitzy's Backyard Barbie, and it got a bit out of control at a pub in northern Adelaide. And a guy, to impress everyone at the party, said that there's a wedding on across the road. I'm going to streak. And I was like, don't, mate. Don't do that. He did it once, and everyone laughed. So he doubled back.
Oh, no.
And said, I'm going to go do it again. As he came back again, he ran through, and the best man stepped out, put his elbow up, broke the bloke's nose and knocked him out. He was on the ground, Sarah. And everyone at the wedding was just looking at this fruit bowl on the ground, completely naked.
Looking a bit lazy now, aren't you, mate?
That's when I laughed. We are opening our phone lines.
Hello, Moto.
Oh, wow.
Moto.
Flip open your Motorola and give us a call.
From 1992.
13 24 10 about anything you want to talk about. Get off the mark. Get your eye in. Have a chat.
Have a chat, man.
Like Carol in Canterbury. Hi, Carol.
Good morning, guys. How are you going today?
Really good, thanks. Carol, what did you want to chat about?
I just want to comment on something Matt DeGroot said the other day about limited time makes a happy marriage. And I agree with him, it does.
Oh, Carol, this is a nice change. We don't get many agreeing with MDG from the news booth.
No, I know, but what he said was true. My husband is a garbage collector, so his day is my night is his day.
Great.
We're like passing ships in the wind. We don't see each other.
That's
and
not
our
bad.
time's very, very limited.
Yeah.
So what we have together, we've got to enjoy, so there's no fighting.
Do you know what it is? It is an interesting point. You're right, because you make that time special. And if you look at the stats too, couples often break up after a long holiday because they spend so much time together that they're not used to doing and realise they don't want to be around each other.
around each other. That is so true. So, like, this Sunday's Mother's Day, we're organised a lunch, but he can only stay for 2 hours because he's got to come home to sleep to start his day shift Sunday night.
Awesome, this is great.
Carol, does he have to have a really long shower when he gets home because he smells a bit?
He stinks, and I disinfect in his clothes. It's disgusting.
Carol,
it's disgusting.
Carol, what's the best thing that he's found in the rubbish? Has he ever found anything when he's been at Garbo?
Well, yes, there is one place. I won't say the name of the place, but it's a high-end place that we collect from, and they throw out designer dresses.
Oh,
really?
Right.
So high-end female fashion?
Yes.
This is awesome.
Text us later, Carol.
Hey, Carol, can I ask this one?
Not a problem. Yes.
Carol, has he ever found a body part?
Oh, whoa.
No, but if you want to get rid of a body, I know how to do it.
Oh, jeez.
You are
body up.
Carol has got everything. I need to get
wrap the body up.
I need...
asbestos on it, and no one will ever find it.
Oh my God!
And there it is.
Oh my God! Carol, I need to get rid of a body in a second-hand or a designer dress.
Not a problem. Give me a call, and I'll help you out.
Carol is on fire.
It's Mackenzie in Springfield. What did you want to talk about?
Morning, boys. My dog actually did find a body part.
What was the body part, Mackenzie?
At first, it was the knee down, so like the bottom half of the leg. She had it in her mouth. Yeah.
That's significant.
Mackenzie, where and how?
So a couple of years ago, we let the dogs. We lived on about 30 acres of property, and we a normal thing on the weekend was we just let the dogs roam around. We had like 2 big full mastiff dogs that were pretty fine to take care of themselves, and me and my older sister were walking out the front, and the dog came back and she picked up from the gorge down the back of the bush. That's the body part. And,
a leg.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Did you pick it up and throw it again so I could get it again? I'll get it again.
Come on, I'll find the other one for you.
Where's your leg? Where's your leg?
Oh, yeah.
Back around it. Bring it back with the toes. Oh, Mackenzie, so you called the police, I take it?
Yeah, well, we didn't really know what to do at first, so we screamed for a little bit and then yelled out to my mum. My mum was having a nap. She just told us to stop watching those Twilight movies at the time, and then thought we were making it all up. And then, 15 minutes later, I kid you not, there was our helicopters all landing on the back of our property, and there was 9 news vans out the front. It was, intense.
Wow.
My God.
Well, there's an underbelly in this.
Yeah, there is.
Well, because it would be better than the Melissa Caddick one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you never know. It might have been one of Mackenzie's ex-boyfriends.
It could have been.
The Fitzy and Wippa Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.